Okay, if everyone could mute up. Stream is starting as soon as it connects. Okay, welcome back to the NARAS Season 33 Daytona 500. We will be starting today, hopefully soon, with the driver introduction. So starting 11th on the inside is going to be Patrick. Patrick, go ahead and take your place and go to your car. Starting 10th, starting 9th is going to be Josh, starting 10th, and Matthew, starting 9th. Matthew, come out. These two will start in the 5th row. Go to your cars. Okay, starting 8th and 7th will be Dusty in 8th and Brock in 7th. Drivers, please head to your cars. Starting in the 3rd row will be Loading, starting 6th. Waternet, starting 5th. Drivers, please head to your cars. Starting in the 2nd row will be Jen, starting in 4th, running in his last Daytona 500. Starting 3rd will be Ginger. Please head to your cars. And in the front row, Cole, who finished 2nd in qualifying, will take the outside. And Daiman, who won the first duel after Geko was disqualified. Drivers, please head to your cars. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get everybody lined up. If drivers would like to go ahead and get into your cars, I'm going to start calling you all to the grid from first to last. If you would like, I can go ahead and bring everyone to their cars. Bring Cole. Here you go, Cole. Daiman, would you like a TP? Bring Daiman. Okay, cool. Does anyone else need a TP, or is everyone else in their cars? Okay. So, on the bottom, I need Daiman to line up in the 48 Ally car. Cole, I'll give you the go-ahead once he's done. All right, Cole, go ahead to your starting position in P2. Once Cole is lined up, I will call you Patrick. Or, sorry, not Patrick, Ginger. As I'm not able to get to F3X. Okay, Ginger, go ahead and line up. Jen, can you go and remove the stage? I can't use F3X.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. If you want to just move my car, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'm going to drive Jen's car real quick to his spot. So you guys don't have to watch that. Okay, this is not the most flattering driving I've ever done. All right. Okay, Jen, if you want to line up your car from here. Go ahead and unfly yourself. Okay, starting 5th, I would like Water to start lining up. If you would just line up behind Ginger, that'd be great.
I'm on my way.
Slinky, you will start 12th on the outside. Just tell me when you're in, and I will teleport you to your car. Okay, Water's lined up. Brock, Loading, line up in 6th. Brock, you'll be 7th. I'll go ahead and give you the go-ahead, Brock, whenever he's done. Okay, Brock, go ahead and line up in 7th. Dusty will line up next, so be ready. Okay, Dusty, go and line up on the outside of Brock in P8. Driving the new 19 car. Okay, at this time, P9. Matthew, go and line up behind Brock. What a drift, jeez. P10, Josh, go and line up.
Logan Slinky is here.
Yeah, he's going to start 12th. I see him. Slinky, if you could reach your car, that'd be great. All right. Patrick, go and line up P11. Slinky, don't line up yet. You're going to be starting 12th. All right, Patrick, go and finish lining up. Slinky, you can go ahead and head up behind him. You'll start 12th on that outside line. How do I change the race mode settings? Oh. Race laps. We're going to go and set the race laps to the stage length. And pretty much I'll add as many as we need. So if race mode would update, that would be awesome. All right, here we go. Drivers can go ahead and put R in the chat. We will start.
We're gonna all go to our team.
Yes,
VCs
please
first.
dismiss to your team VCs. Slinky, I'll unmute you. Okay. When you are in your team VCs. Please say R. So, start of the season. Big stakes tonight. Okay. Now, is anybody not ready? I'm going to go and move Slinky to his driver chat. Let me just try and move him down. It takes me a second because there's like 20 different places he has to go. Okay. Watch flags. Okay, it's time to start the Daytona 500. I'm going to go ahead and watch our poll, which I believe is... Where is he? Chilled Psycho. Okay. Why... Okay, apparently there's a caution. I literally don't know why. Okay, so drivers will now line up because people can't look at their computers. If there are any stream issues, please go ahead and inform me. Hopefully the audio is good for you guys, and the music was not too loud earlier. Is everybody lined up? I'm going to go and check. Okay, so we're going to line up again. Okay, we're going to go and say watch flags. It is time, well, for the second time, to watch as all these drivers race against each other as the flag flies. Daiman will hold the lead. Howie on his outside. Ginger right behind him. 3 wide in the back for a moment. I believe someone backed out as Daiman will go high. Someone's in the wall. I'm not quite sure who that is. It looks like Brock. Now Slinky's around. Ooh, Jen will get caught. That'll be a yellow, I believe, for multi-car incident. As Jen got caught in that, as well as, I believe it was, not quite sure. Was it Slinky? It was Slinky. As they will race back to the start. And Ginger will go from 3rd to 1st. As all of these drivers cross the line, everyone will line back up. Now, as you'll see on the track in that tri-oval, we have multiple sponsors that I can go ahead and read out real quick as your drivers line back up. We have Coke Zero, who's not an official sponsor of NARAS. The M&M's Restart Zone, the NARAS Cup Series, obviously the entire NARAS League. This entire sign was made custom. Took a very long time. And then we have the NARAS Valvoline Series. And me! The Logan Lax logo. We got part of the tri-oval. Having some fun there. I mean to be re-uploading soon as these drivers try and line back up. So I believe General Lee should be on that inside. I think Slinky should be on the outside. As they will switch. So we will get ready to go green as soon as Jen and Slinky are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and signal for R. As we're going to watch Ginger. Get ready. As they are going to go as soon as they see this flag fly. Here they go. Matthew got a great start. Howie right behind him. 3 wide. I think Josh is on the middle. Matthew is already cleared. Ginger on that inside flies up the track. I wonder if maybe these setups get a little antsy with bump draft. As Ginger comes down into Josh, they make contact. Josh is going to fall back. Still sitting in 4th on that inside. It looks like Dusty gets up into the wall. Dusty and Patrick seem to be clipped together. As I am now going to try and fix this. That should fix his issue. There we go. As it looks like Matthew, after that great start, will come back P1. Josh, after falling after the contact with Ginger, will come back into P2. So it'll be Josh and Matthew on that front row. Josh on the outside, Matthew on the inside. Josh is on the Lee Motorsports Junior team, and Matthew's on that Lee Motorsports team. So he is both of them in the same umbrella of drivers. as they try and bring Chevy to the victory lane. Loading, getting a bit in the way as everyone tries to line up. Everyone just trying to get sorted. I believe Loading is trying to line up 6th, and Slinky does not want to let him. Jen should be in 8th on the outside of Daiman. Loading should be in that 6th position. And Josh should be able to go back. I'm going to go and switch this to yellow so we don't have those jumps like we did last time with that miscommunication. As Josh is going to try and keep behind the line, but it struggles as drivers are trying to line up. As waiting for Josh to get in line and waiting for Howie to get into his spot. As it seems that Water in the wrong lane, but I don't think Howie is going to be opposed to that. Patrick will line up on the outside again. As we will watch Matthew on the start. Once again, this is my first time, so if there are any chunky bits or not pretty bits, you know why. As these drivers will go green again, and that outside getting a good start again. Matthew having an awful start, already down into P3, maybe P4. Slinky can finish this move. Josh has run away. Got a huge gap into turn 1. A lot of contact again. That entire outside is stuck. Brock seems to be stuck on that outside, as there's a huge crash. Most of them keep moving. Let me go ahead and announce that. As a Slinky mad at Loading for not letting off. Loading, driver from last season, still winless in NARAS. I believe he's been here for a while now. Driving the 44 McDonald's and Monster Energy Chevy. I'm not quite sure who that is on the bottom. That looks like Daiman, the man who started on pole, now pulling into the pit lane. Oh, he's AFK. As Josh trying to hold off Matthew. Waternet, Ginger, Howie going to make it 3 wide under them. Howie going to try and finish that move. Howie taking the 9 for this season in that Napa Chevrolet. Behind him, I believe we have... Is that Dusty? Is that a certain... It was Dusty Aviation. Now it will be Waternet as he tries to make the move. Waternet sliding up the track. Ginger right under him. They're 3 wide again. This might not work. Waternet keeps making contact. As Daiman is asking to merge. As Howie's still fighting for first, along with Matthew and Josh. All of them want this win. Josh, a 2-time champion, won seasons 30 and 31. Matthew led the only lap that wasn't led by LM in last season's 500. As I believe Dusty is flipped. As that'll be another caution on lap 5. Howie trying to make the move work on the outside of Matthew. Ginger maybe under him, though. Matthew, awful run out of turns 3 and 4. Maybe letting Howie by so he can get that inside line. The inside line has proven not to have the best starts, though. As I believe they may have hit the stage hitbox, which is no longer there. As you see both Matthew and Cole slide up the track. So maybe a little bit of... glitching going on, but they shouldn't be hitting that anyway, as that is under track limits. As I will now put Daiman on the lead lap. As Matthew now sitting P2, or sorry, sitting P3 after letting Howie by. And, yeah. Dusty taking the blame for that wreck. I'm not quite sure what happened. It seemed to be further back. Not really in my field of view. Josh, though, been really dominant today. Not quite sure how everyone else feels about this. So, as they're trying to line back up, Howie should be on. Josh is outside. Matthew trying to line up in third. A lot of this race has been spent more under caution than under green. Not always a great statistic, but it's Daytona. It's almost expected. Not quite sure where Howie is. Not quite sure what's going on with Howie. He's sitting on his own. I have not received any message on Discord about it. Not getting a ton of, communication from these drivers. Obviously, they're not really able to due to what they are going through. I'm going to go ahead and pull Josh into the booth. And we're going to bring him in here for an interview. Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, copy.
Awesome. So how do you think your race has been so far?
It's been good so far. Record points 100, and pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like you've been really good at keeping out of those wrecks. You've been up front a lot. It's a lot harder for you to hit some lap cars when you're nowhere near them.
That's kind of true. Yeah. I mean, thank God I don't have to deal with them, but it gets kind of lonely up there.
What do you think of how many cautions we've had since this race has started?
What do you think about them? Outrageous.
Yeah. How was your battle with Howie and Matthew near the end of that run?
Well, they were pretty good, I mean, I guess they left the spot for, strategy-wise, but then it kind of all depends on how you restart, if you think about it.
Yeah, as the only two-time champion on the grid, I believe, what are you thinking, for this race and this season?
Well, for this race, I mean, if I don't win, it's not a big problem. There's still a lot more races in the season. And for the championship, I'm just hoping to get my third one. If not, it's fine. I mean, I still have a long ways to go before I retire.
Yeah, obviously you're on this new team in that 18 car, Last Chance Motorsports. How has that experience been for you?
Well, it's been pretty good because I wasn't sure in general about switching back to a Toyota, the one car I started with, but the Chevy has much more potential.
All right, that's going to be it. Hopefully I get to interview again when you're on the podium or that, P1 spot. I'm going to go and move you back to your team VC. Okay, not quite sure what the plan is. As Howie is back. As that interview is somehow perfectly timed. So, here we go. So I don't know where Patrick should be. Okay, so I'm going to go and ask if everybody is ready after that quick break. Able to get an interview in. So that is definitely not, a lost cause. So I will now tell them to watch the flags. If I could spell words, I'm going to give them a bit. I'm going to catch them off. All right, here they go. Josh, not a great start. How are we getting that jump, That outside line has had such a good jump off these starts. Not quite sure where to go. As someone's in that inside wall. It's Dusty Aviation. Not quite sure what happened there. I just saw him go off. Might be something we have to look at in the, officials room. As Matthew's still on Josh's bumper. It's been these three all day. Josh, Howie, Matthew. Ginger's been up there as well in that 2 car. Now we have a new one. We have Brock in that 67. Also drives for LCM. Teammate with Josh. As they're going to work together. And Matthew's going to make a move on Josh. Maybe Brock will move up and try and help his teammate. Or just stay down and try and keep the position. As the teammates make contact. The 2 and the 88. Hook. That's definitely going to be seen in the officials room later. Patrick moves out the way as to not make contact with the 88. Ginger, mad. As they continue to making moves around each other. Brock into second. I believe this is his highest position of the day. As Waternet sits in P3. Driver for BMX Motorsports. BMX was not able to make it today. Jen, in his last event, currently sitting in, I believe, P11. Started, I believe, around 5th or 4th. You know, not quite the result he's wanting today, but, you know, I think he's just happy to race at this point. As we see Howie continuing to lead the field. As they're starting to bunch up behind him. As Brock gets a massive run into the tri-oval. We'll go to the outside of Howie. I don't think that outside is going to work in this race. Seems to be like the low line is the best way to go. Is there some contact, I believe, with Loading. Loading dropping back, stuck on that outside. If I could find him. This text is so small. Yeah, Loading stuck on that outside. Everyone going under him. Loading's going to need a place to, you know, slot in quick. As Dusty experienced a lap glitch, he will now be placed back on the lead lap. As Josh, someone who was leading early, someone who seemed confident in his ability, is now sitting, I believe, P6. Yeah, P6, right behind Patrick. Patrick was one of the drivers who made the playoffs last season, made it into the round of 6. The NARAS playoffs do not go by the normal round of 16, 12, 8, and 4. We go by a 8-6-4 system, so Patrick was able to survive, you know, one round and make it to round of 6. Ended up losing out on his fight against BMX for that last round of 4 spot. Unlucky for him, but maybe looking to bounce back this season with another playoff run, as he's going to slide to the bottom, as Waternet's going to get stuck up top. As Brock moves into the lead of this race, actually led the last lap. I was busy covering people in the back. Seems like there may be some contact in the back as well with Matthew, as he's lost the pace, nowhere near this pack, hoping to get as much draft as he can. Howie must have had an issue, currently sitting in, you know, P8. Not exactly where these LM drivers want to be, but for their junior team, LCM, Brock is leading. You know, he's got, obviously, the LM driver of Daiman right behind him. Kind of a later signing due to drivers joining, leaving, and all that. As is 3 Chevys up front. Another LM junior team in the form of BMX Motorsports sitting P4. P5 is Ginger. Also BMX Motorsports. Then the LM car of Howie. And then right after that would be the 33 of Patrick, also with BMX Motorsports. Then the 28 of Slinky with LCM. Right after that would be the 88 of Matthew with LM. And then Jen with LM in that 65 car, running his last season, his last race. Dusty, the first non-Chevy, non-LM associated driver. And then Loading, not quite sure what happened with him. He's sitting really far back. I believe he's AFK in the pit lane. So only one LM or non-LM associated driver, and he's 4 seconds back. He's not near the rest of the pack. You know, I don't know if he has that draft to work off of, as Brock continues to lead this pack. Josh right behind him. So it's LCM 1-2 currently, maybe trying to hold out this result. Slinky, their teammate, sitting currently in, I believe, maybe a P9. Yeah, so all the LCM cars sitting in the top 10. A lot of these drivers you would be hoping working together as they're all associated, but when everyone is associated in the same pack, you know, there's not a lot of love between each other. You may see people go into business for themselves, for their teams, instead of for their manufacturer and who they're allianced with. As Matthew just trying to stay with Slinky, move up, get back to this pack. Jen just kind of sticking behind, maybe waiting for another late caution. As Brock continues to lead, Josh gets shuffled out to the outside. Ginger on Brock's bumper. Brock maybe, you know, his rear tire's lifting into the air. Howie right behind him. Chevy train on that inside. 5 cars bumper to bumper. Maybe 6 once Brock gets in. As they all kind of spread out, coming out of the tri-oval. Everyone taking different lines. Brock will get stuck on that inside, but it will end up actually moving Ginger to the outside. Maybe Howie looking for a move. No. He'll just continue to go under Ginger. as Waternet doesn't give his teammate space to move in. I wonder if maybe Waternet's going into business for himself, or maybe team orders are just to drive hard, drive fast. See what you can do is Brock kind of shoves Howie down a little. Don't know if he'll give him room. Brock missing the turn entirely maybe opens the door for Howie to make that move on the inside, and he will take it. That 9 car of Howie is going to move to the inside in the lead of the race. Brock led a decent amount of laps, but has now lost it to the higher driver of Howie. As Brock will continue to get shuffled out by his teammate in the 18. Brock, one of the earlier signings by LCM. Same with Josh. They're kind of fighting for their dominance within the team. Slinky trying to make it back up as he continues to battle Waternet for that position. Now following Ginger after Ginger got moved out of the line a while ago. A lot of drivers under. That'd be Daiman in the 48 and Patrick in the 33. Not quite sure where they're going. There's only one racetrack over here that's open. As Brock is in the wall, maybe frozen. He seems to be going a lot slower than everyone else. I do believe he's frozen as he's not moving. Seems like he's trying to stay out of the way. No, it seems like he's unfrozen now as he makes contact with Slinky, makes contact with Waternet, and then bounces back to hit Brock into the wall. As Matthew moves back into fourth, this is a massive wreck. And there will be a huge yellow as the big one hits. As I'm surprised all of them saved it. I don't know how. As that really split up the pack, maybe, that'll keep them from another huge crash. As a Dusty still sitting in 11th currently. Loading seems to be back in that pack, Once this caution finish, or if there's another caution, he will go back up to the lead lap. Otherwise, he will not get that back until the stage. Stage points are normal NASCAR points, I believe, with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Kind of self-explanatory. As they will continue to battle. I believe Howie's still in that lead. Holding Josh off. Josh doing everything he can to get around that, father team driver. As the lower junior team is Patrick's going to make a move around Josh. Patrick, kind of a dark horse in this race, kind of a dark horse in this whole season. But like we said, he made it to the playoffs last season. Could he do it again? Could he lock in early? As someone is nowhere near their lines. Not quite sure who that is. Seems to be, who could that be? It's General Lee, so I wonder if maybe he got caught up in that caution. Jen not been where he wants to be pace-wise all day. I think he's just trying to enjoy himself these first two. As a Dusty's lap did not count. As he will be placed back on the lead lap. Jen has not come around yet, so we will not fix his lap. As he is currently still on the lead lap. But being chased down by these drivers behind him, he's got his driver in Howie, a junior driver for his team in Josh. Matthew right behind him, another junior driver in Patrick sitting fourth. As Josh will get moved up the track, Matthew will make a move. LM will go back to 1-2. Really similar to last season with that LM domination leading every lap except one. That one lap being led by Matthew. Matthew obviously has the pace to compete with these top guys. Wasn't able to show as much of it as he'd like to last season. Maybe in this new LM 88 car he can. As he's going to continue to push Howie. Maybe they'll work together. Maybe they'll go into business for themselves. It's really a matter of who wants to be locked in and what matters the most to this team and these teammates. As Josh is going to try and move down. Try and get around Patrick. Doing everything he can. Patrick currently, sitting third. Patrick, like I said, was a dark horse off of last season. Is able to pull out these performances. Usually was only good on a short run, but as this run goes on, you see Patrick making more and more moves as he's going to get caught by Matthew. Josh is going to go on that inside. They were 3 wide for a moment. Howie still leading. Patrick, maybe some more contact with Josh. Josh on his inside. But the question is, will Josh slide up? No, he will not. He will keep it on that inside. He will go behind Howie. He will clear Patrick. Matthew's going to go down after contact with Ginger. Ginger's going to go up. Continue to lock bumpers with Matthew. It's going to file in behind him. Daiman sitting P6 is trying to make a comeback after he had to go AFK and go into the back of the pack. As Jen will almost break and hit Matthew. Matthew able to move back up in the line just in time. Will actually get third out of it. Oh, well, we'll retake third out of it. Patrick moved up to the outside, as we've seen so many times today. Just doesn't have the speed that people need. As seems like Water has hit Jen. Not quite sure what happened there. Water now sitting further back in the pack. Water was already sitting P8 in front of, people such as Brock, such as Dusty. Brock now sitting, actually still behind him, so I'm not quite sure if that did much. Maybe just caught that outside. Matthew still doing everything he can. Josh back up into second. Josh has been a massive force this entire race. These 3 have kind of led almost every lap, except for Brock, who led those, I believe, 6 or 7 in a row. As we near the last 10 laps of this stage. After this stage, there will be a 5-minute break for these drivers to use the bathroom, get drinks, whatever they need to do. And if there is a driver who would like an interview, they will get it. So these drivers all have their different opinions, all have their different wants, their needs. They all have different ideals, but one stays the same. Win this race, make the playoffs, and win the championship. That's what's going through all of their minds. All of them want that. All of them want that championship. All of them want that Hall of Fame, car in there. As Howie and Josh continue to run away, Daiman makes a pass on Matthew. Daiman, who started first, fell back early. Will move back up into third after having to merge into last. Will just continue to follow these drivers through. As Josh is right on Howie's bumper. Maybe going into business for himself. Maybe just going to push his higher team. As Daiman is right on Josh's bumper. LM is sitting 1, 3, and 4 right now. They only have 3 drivers for this race, plus the part-time car of Jen in that 65. BMX unable to make the race due to unforeseen circumstances, as they will continue to make that train on the inside. Maybe trying to move Howie up. Maybe trying to just run away from the rest of this pack. Slinky, who's been in the back, dealt with adversity this whole race, sitting in 5th now. Patrick sitting in 6th after getting moved on that outside. Waternet sitting in P7 on the board. I'm not quite sure if that's correct, as he looks to be behind loading. No, that is correct, as Brock is behind him. I believe Brock has lost the draft, as well as Matthew and Dusty. Matthew must have had a wreck somewhere. No, I think it just didn't read his lap for a while. So Taker having some issues. It's pretty expected with Roblox. They aren't exactly the most consistent. Someone who is consistent, though, is these top 2. Howie and Josh been at the front all day. Obviously, Howie got the pole on the outside. Didn't have to race Duel 2. Still did to get that practice with other cars. And Daiman actually had the fastest time in a previous practice session on Tuesday. So, obviously, big hopes for him as he's going to get moved to the outside. I don't know what will happen with that. Slinky will move into 3rd. Daiman just moved to that outside, nowhere to go. Once you're on that outside, you really just have to slot in as fast as you can just to not lose any more positions. But if no one lets you in, especially a teammate such as Matthew, you're just going to keep falling back, and that's not good for the team. Someone it is good for is these top 2 of Howie and Josh, as he can no longer pressure them. But someone new is going to pressure in the form of Slinky and Ginger right behind them. As Ginger will push Slinky all the way through turns 3 and 4, maybe looking for a move on the outside. Slots back in behind Slinky. Will continue to push him into Josh. Maybe these 3 going to start a draft train as Josh gets a massive run on Howie. Howie's going to get stuck on that outside. Ginger's going to move up. Slinky's going to move up. All of them are going to be able to get back down. Matthew, who was sitting in P9 earlier, got shuffled out of line, I think. Ended up, really far back, has made his way back up into 4th. Howie also moved out of the way. Or sorry, that was already happening. Howie drops back into 5th. Patrick back in 6th as the teammates make contact. The 88 and the 9 make contact. The 88 comes back up. The 9 will come back up in front of the 33. The 9 will go into 4th. The 88 will go into 6th. And the 33 will actually move up into 5th after passing the 88. The 33, though, will get moved out of the way, out of the groove. The 88 will make that move under. The 33 has to get down as soon as he can, unless he wants to lose more spots, as now's his chance. I don't believe Water's under him. Now he is. Patrick just needs to get down as fast as he can, as Josh has gone back to the lead of this race. Led early. And his teammate behind him now in the form of Slinky in that 28 Chevrolet accessories car. You know, LCM seems to have a tight bond of drivers. They seem to work well together. They seem to get along. But so does almost every team on this grid. Someone who has not had the best chemistry, at least at the end of Season 32, would be Det Bros Racing in the form of Loading and Geko. Geko won the pole in qualifying, but it actually ended up getting disqualified and was going to start in the back today after lepaging the end of Duel 1, and which ended up giving that, P1 spot to Daiman, who won the duel. So a big move for Daiman, who would have started 3rd, now had started in 1st, but, has moved back now into 7th on the ticker. That may have changed by now. As these two up front starting to run away. Howie's already back into 3rd. Just doing everything he can to catch up to these two. Wants that win. Wants to go back-to-back on championships like Josh did the previous 2 seasons. Josh wants to be restored to what he was. Wants that, his first championship within the playoffs, as his first 2 were off to the season ending early. Josh wants his chance. We will do anything for that chance. Has told me that. That's why he's signed. Raced for LM last season. Actually got dropped due to him not showing up. But after a bit of talking, he said that he can do it a bit more consistently, and I trust that. So we brought him on. Slinky started doing really well at the end of last season as well. So he seemed to be a good pick. And Brock seems to be our development driver. We also have a part-time car that was not able to run today due to Biggie getting busy. Biggie was the commentator/streamer for last season. Now it is me, as Jen will no longer be able to stream, host, commentate, all that. And Biggie going into school. So I have moved up, as the 2 teammates will lock bumpers under the line. As we'll go into lap 29, 2 laps to go. As Josh doing everything he can to keep Slinky off his bumper. Slinky doing everything he can to keep Howie off his bumper and to catch Josh at the same time. Trying to do 2 and 1. Gonna make contact with his teammate. Now the question is, will Slinky be okay with, sitting in 2nd and just blocking for his teammate, or will he move up and just do everything he can? As we near the end of the stage in the first break for today. Josh, P1, Slinky, P2. Slinky will get moved up the track. Howie into 2nd. Howie now has a chance to win this stage. Get an extra stage point early. Howie, not a stranger to winning, not a stranger to finishing 2nd either. This is a massive lag spike. Now, Howie will do everything he can to get around Josh. Move him out of the way. Get under him. Everything he can. As Josh is going to take a lower line. Maybe that'll slide him up the track. We never know. Howie right on his bumper again. Slinky maybe going to try the same thing that Howie did to him. Move Howie up the track. Maybe go for, Josh late on that tri-oval. It's been done. I did it to Sup last year. You can make a pass if you have the right run on that outside. Josh doing everything he can to defend. Howie will get moved up the track. He's going to move down in time. Howie doing everything he can. Maybe a move to the outside. He's going to try it. He's going to do the move that worked in Stage 2 of last season's 500. Will he do it? I don't think he will, as Josh will win Stage 1. Howie will finish 2nd. Slinky will finish 3rd. As we are waiting for Dusty and Jen to cross the line, as they will both cross. So I will go and announce that there will be a 5-minute break. And we will be right back, as we will watch, I guess, Josh, while I take a break. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I am back. We are now going to host an interview with one of these drivers, I believe. As I will now announce who wants an interview. Who wants an interview? Now, some of these drivers I know do not want to get up during this. As Jen, the first one. Jen, do you have a copy? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I got that.
So, obviously not the first stage you'd like to have, but, I mean, you got it done. What do you think?
Well, I've got lag not on my side tonight. Car's doing great, but it's just not going my way tonight. Not like I did in the duels. I didn't do great in the duels anyway to begin with, but no, stage one just was not what I was looking for. But kudos to Josh for getting stage one. Yeah, I feel pretty optimistic about the rest of this race.
Your driver, Howie, in that 9 car, was able to finish P2, wanted to make a move on Josh, similar to my move on Sup at the end of Stage 2 last season. What do you think about that?
I mean, Howie knows how to get it done. He won the championship. He almost won Daytona last season for the Coke 400, but it was a good move. I watched it on the replay going by the front stretch. It was a good move, but he just timed it a little bit too early, I think.
Yeah. Many people may be surprised with the commentator's change. What is the decision behind that?
The commentator's change. Can you elaborate that?
As in me hosting now.
It's a new thing. It's definitely new. I think it's a good change for the better of NARAS. Obviously, everyone is used to me and Biggie doing it from last season, but it's a definite change, and I think it's a good change.
Yeah, how do you think the LM team and junior teams have done today? Obviously, 10 of the 12 drivers are LM affiliated. What do you think about that?
Well, if I'm a bit iffy with the 12 and the 2 just because I feel like there's something going to be heated real soon. But I think that if the LM and the LCM cars can just stick together and run the race like they've been doing all race, they can get something done. I've been seeing them swap around a lot while I've been hanging in the back. I've been watching their moves and trying to study them. Like I said though, if LM and LCM can just stick together and run their race like they should, it'll be a great finish.
Now, do you think as we near the end of this race, do you think we'll see more drivers start to go into business for themselves to try and take the win?
Oh, definitely. It's the Daytona 500. You have to go for it. Anyone, you could be P12 with 3 laps to go, and you can find your way up to the front, and you can still win it. It's just all about how you make that move at the right time. But I think a lot as the race goes on, nearing the end of stage 2 and all of stage 3, I think it's going to get a lot more aggressive. Not like what we had at the beginning of stage 1, because that was just it was rough those first 6 laps. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to get a lot more aggressive coming towards like 20 to 15 laps to go in the race.
Yeah, speaking of the start of stage 1, after those early cautions, was it relieving to have that long green flag run?
It really was. I was able to find my lap or my line just by running those laps. I don't know if you can notice, but that's kind of what I was doing at the beginning of the race. Was I was pulling out on purpose to find my line. That way, I wasn't interrupting anybody else. I wasn't, because these guys are full time. I don't do this full time. I'm just here to have fun, and I'm just here to race. And if I have the chance to get it, I will go get it. But I'm staying out of these guys' way.
All right. Well, that I believe is all. As that we've reached the end of our 5-minute break. Good luck in the rest of this race.
Thank you.
If you would like, I can go and move you back to the LM chat.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Okay, as we near later into this race, people trying to do what they can to win these stages, get as many points as they can. As we near the start. it seems that these drivers are ready. So I'm going to tell them to watch the flags as we will get ready to go in 3, 2, 1. These drivers ready to go. Inside line got a much better start than previous times. Howie not as capable of getting a start as he could. Previously, all these drivers too wide. It's a top 6, 2 by 2, just trying to stay in their groove, trying to stay in their line, lose as little position as they can. Howie stuck on that outside. As Brock is going to follow, I believe that's Dusty all the way down the track. Questionable move by Brock. Really, I guess, making sure no non-Chevy teams can really be near that top spot. You see Brock making a lot more moves to defend than you do attack sometimes, as that's just the nature of how he drives. Drives more defensive than he does offensive, and sometimes that helps, sometimes that hurts. As Josh continues to lead, will lead lap 31, the first lap of the second stage. The halfway lap will be at lap 47, so the leader on lap 47 will get 5 regular points and 1 playoff point. So that will already advance them into the championship. Josh already has 1 playoff point due to winning the stage. He's currently leading the standings with 10 playoff points and 10 regular points and 1 playoff point. As points will be done after the stream, we may announce that on our Twitter. Go follow that as NARAS Official YT. As Josh slides up the track, maybe some lag. Seems to be really slow compared to these drivers. Water net also in that wall. Wall riding is not exactly a tactic that'll work around Daytona, especially in NARAS with these full speed setups that we'd like to run. As Josh will try and slide in behind Howie. Howie and Josh started in the front row, now finding themselves 5th and 6th. Not exactly where they'd like to be. Slinky finds himself leading for the first time today. Will get moved up the track by Matthew. Matthew tries to slide back down, will do it. Slinky cannot follow him, and will end up on the outside of Ginger. More contact made between Daiman and Slinky, as I don't think they're happy about that. Ginger sliding down, almost hitting Matthew. Slinky back into second, a huge lag spike. As Howie will hit Josh. Josh will come back up. They're continuing to make contact. Josh slows down on the inside line. Is respectful to the rest of his drivers by not taking them out. It's always good to see. As wrecking is not as fun as driving. We'll say that. As someone who's run iRacing a bit, wrecking's not fun, especially in VR. But Jen continues to just kind of sit in the back. Previously said he was having some lag issues. Seems like he's still having them along that outside wall. We've seen a lot of drivers with lag issues do that. Just ride that outside. Try to stay out of everyone's way. As it seems these drivers, once they're out of the turns, they seem to be fine. Maybe it's an issue with the turns being welded. Not quite sure. These tracks have worked in previous years. As Josh will try and get under Patrick. Is also under, I believe, Dusty. Josh is trying to recover. As Dusty will move down, that's very questionable. Forces Josh below the line. Matthew will move up due to lag, I believe. Brock sitting in 9th on the board, I believe a bit higher than that. There's a lot of contact being made between Brock, Dusty, Josh. I believe Matthew is in that somewhere. As Slinky gets turned, I think. Yeah, that's Slinky. He's going to be able to keep it going, but not what he wanted today. Obviously, he's got a lot of time to make that position back up, but not what he was hoping for. As the LCM drivers not giving each other space. Slinky maybe going for a shot at Brock. As Patrick continues to shove Slinky up the track. These junior drivers not happy. Brock will slide down, hit Patrick. Slinky obviously not happy with them. Brock, I don't think happy with anyone at this point. As he's getting forced up the track by Patrick. Brock is not going to be happy with that. He's being forced everywhere by this 33 car. Can't go where he wants to. Obviously, tempers are going to flare up as at the front of this pack, we're going to follow Matthew. There we go. Matthew sitting in 3rd. Doing whatever he can to get back up. Josh and Howie, who fell back, now sitting. Josh in 4th, Howie in 1st. Howie's been able to recover a bit faster than Josh all day. As Josh will go under Matthew, maybe a little bit of a bump and run as Dusty will do whatever that is. As Jen just trying to stay behind not lose too much ground. But I think he's already lost the draft. I'm not quite sure if he'll make it in time. Daiman, for some reason, showing a lap down. As I will go ahead and fix that real quick. As Josh still sitting P3. Ginger going for a move on Howie. Ginger currently a driver for BMX Motorsports, one of the LM junior teams. Maybe looking to topple one of those higher LM drivers. Josh, with previous experience working with LM, trying to get back into that team for next season, will dive under Ginger. Josh been really relaxed this race, really strong. And it's good to see drivers from these junior teams do as well as Josh has done today. As Josh and Howie, P1, P2 again. These two just absolutely destroyed the field all day. Been up front. And if they fall back, it doesn't take long till you see them again. Having some respectful fights this entire race. During lap 38 onto the backstretch, we see Dusty saying something about the lag. I believe he must have hit the wall somewhere. Now behind Jen, and also a lap down. As after stage 2, Jen will be turning the lights on. I believe that means that we will go to a night race for the final stage. As Josh going to make a move under Howie, or at least try to. Howie able to keep that bottom line. Josh getting moved up. Can't go down. He's going to get moved up. Try and slot in into 4th. Behind Matthew. Maybe braking a little bit to make sure that Brock doesn't catch up before he can slot in. Brock sitting P5. Another one of those LM junior drivers. Also a rookie for this season. You may not see it on those rookie stripes on the car. That's because I forgot to make them. But, one of the many rookies for the season, Ginger, I don't believe is a rookie. But his first time back since I've been here. Waternet is a rookie. Daiman is not a rookie. Yeah, those are the only rookies right now, but there's some other ones as well. Previously, Tyclone was going to drive the 22 for BMX Motorsports as a rookie. Ended up dropping out yesterday due to timing with the races. Obviously, not all the races will be on Friday. Most of them will be on Sunday. But there was a scheduling conflict for me this weekend, so we had to host it a week early. So that is the reason for the time change. As Josh will continue to follow Howie through. Matthew sitting 3rd, a very familiar sight, as I've said probably a million times today. So Brock going to move Patrick out of the way and then continue to move him up the track. It's going to screw both of them. As Ginger's getting really mad, I think. Looks like he's trying to turn Brock, following him up the track. As Ginger will just kind of stay in his lane. Maybe, making a little bit of contact with Brock, telling him, hey, I don't like that move. As Matthew get moved out of the way. The 12 of Waternet will go into 3rd. Matthew going to continue to get moved up. Really not where Matthew wants to be right now. But really good for this 9 and 18 who don't have as much pressure until Water gets to their bumpers. Matthew asking if he can rejoin the game after this, after the next yellow. As Josh is going to go up high. Seems like he got moved out of the way as well by Water. Water seems to be going into business for himself today. As Josh and Daiman make contact on the tri-oval. Tri-oval is definitely one of those places where it's a bit harder to hold your line because the banking is different, the turn is different, everything is different compared to those, turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Which are a bit steeper, quicker, so drivers may be expecting to turn a little bit more than they actually are. Or a little less. As Josh went up, lining up behind loading in P10. So Josh went from P2 to P10 in 1 lap. Really not the fall from grace that Josh would like today. Waternet also having a really similar drop. Matthew also dropping back a lot. It looks like a lot of these top drivers are dropping back maybe for stage 2. as Loading will stay in 10th. Patrick and Matthew making some contact at the tri-oval. Patrick seems to be getting tight out of that tri-oval every time. Just a thing I've noticed over the last few laps. Josh continuing to kind of ride that train as we're going to watch Howie now. Not doing a great job of switching between drivers because I just start talking. Howie leading the junior driver of Slinky in that 28 car. Slinky followed closely by Daiman, followed by followed by Brock. So right now it's LM, LCM, LM, LCM, but now it'll become LM12 as Daiman makes a move under Slinky. Loading, who was P10 at the start of this lap, will now move into P4, overtaking Brock. Josh will continue to push Loading as Slinky pushes Loading under the line. And Brock gets shoved up the track. Loading, trying to do everything he can to stay on the track, continues to get hit by Slinky. I'm not sure if that'll be taken up in the officials' room. Howie running in the middle on that backstretch, maybe expecting a run from Slinky that never came. Loading, doing everything he can. Sitting in second right now was the other exit of the round of 6, along with Patrick. Looking to get his first win, looking for a championship, looking for some decent points. As Josh is back up into second, was 10th 2 or 3 laps ago, already back up. That shows you how quick these drivers are able to just recover, in these conditions. As someone's into the wall, I believe that's Brock. As he comes back up onto the track, I believe there's only 2 yellow cars. And that would be Waternet and Brock Busby. As the first car behind would be, I believe, Dusty Aviation, who continues to somehow go a lap down. I think the game just isn't reading it when he's going across. And General Lee 08, who's just had lag issues all day, continues to be unlucky. And I think it's whenever he gets close to these other cars, it's starting to lag out his computer. As every time he kind of goes to his own, you're seeing him, ride that inside as everyone else has been. Josh driving, getting forced back again. Howie's saying sorry. Some contact must have been made. As Josh is now back in 9th. Brock will get moved up. So Josh will take 8th. As there's a lot of contact between the 12 and the 88. They may be stuck. If the 12 and the 88 cannot get unstuck, that will not be a thing. Okay. No caution as both of these cars are able to keep going. As we are going to go ahead and... I'm not quite sure what happened. The next lap will award an extra point to whoever leads. Daiman going under the line a little bit more than everyone else. Just a tiny bit. As I'm going to go ahead and ask Matthew what happened. So we can go ahead and give penalties as needed. Change dust. Laps 46. Howie trying to get this point. Wasn't able to get the point for stage 1. He'll do everything he can for stage 2. I'm going to go ahead and give the 2 a 1 out of 3. As Ginger will get moved up the track. We'll keep second. Gonna make a move on Howie. Howie's gonna block him. Slinky is going a bit low, admittedly. As Slinky absolutely destroys that tri-oval grass. As we're going to go and give Slinky a... Okay, that... Not quite sure what's happened with them as... Howie's moved all the way back to 5th. Now pressured by Daiman, his teammate. Now the question is, will they work together? Loading. Showing 7th, so obviously this ticker not really working the best again. Or maybe he just made that move. Josh doing everything he can to get back up. Josh sitting 3rd. After getting pushed back again. Ginger leading laps. Another LM associated team. Maybe not working as well with these other LM associated drivers though as, you know, some of these LCM drivers, some of these other LM drivers. Loading maybe doing a bit more pushing for LM drivers than the actual, you know, BMX Motorsports guys. As Ginger's going to take Slinky below the line. Slinky just can't go anywhere. Ginger's going to continue to push Slinky down. If Ginger does that again, I believe we may have to, yeah, he's just Logano blocking. If he continues to shove under the line, that may be a penalty. As not quite sure what happened there with loading. Just give me 1 second. There's a bug on my wall I need to get. Okay, I dropped it and I have no clue where it is, so if you see me screaming later, that's why. Okay, so what did I miss? Ginger still sitting, P1. Slinky P2. Josh P3. Seems the same from when I left. Now I'm kind of looking for it. As Slinky will make the move under Ginger. Contact with Josh. Josh will slide up the track. Ginger in a second. Slinky into first again. As now we're going to watch Ginger see what he does. Josh shoved to the outside. Howie into third. Josh going to break and try and slide in. Will Brock let him in? Yes, he will. Okay. That's going to be another penalty for Ginger. And not quite sure what happened there. Only one car. As these cars will continue to go around the track, do everything they can for this win. Some of it may be a little bit illegal. Obviously, that will be taken to the officials' room. Nothing is official from on track. Obviously, this footage will be rewatched later to make sure that everything is actually allowed. Otherwise, we'd be giving wins to people who are cheating, and that's not good. Ginger sitting on a 2 out of 3. If he reaches a 3 out of 3, he will receive a drive-through penalty. Actually, no, drive-through penalty won't do anything. He will receive a next race probation. If he reaches a 5 out of 5, he will be parked for the race. And probation means essentially if you get a 3 out of 3 in a race that you are on probation, you will be parked for that race and the next. So essentially like a yellow-red card in soccer. Pretty much you get a yellow card, you're on probation. And if you get another yellow, you're done for the next 2 games. As Slinky trying to hold Ginger off. Josh trying to take P3. Josh came back out of nowhere. Howie kind of fell out of line. Seems like there may have been some contact with Brock. As I'm starting to lose my voice. Which is always fun. I have found the bug again. I'll deal with it later. If it ends up in my bed tonight, I blame you guys. Okay. So Slinky continuing to hold off Ginger. P3 3 is being fought for by Howie. Howie will take it. Daiman trying to pass Patrick. Will get the move done. Patrick will slide into 5th. Brock in 6th. Brock may be going for a move for 5th. Will he get it done? No. Maybe another one into turns 3 and 4, though. No, he won't. He just needs Patrick to slide up once. It only takes one slide for this. Patrick's going to try and get under that 48 again. Brock maybe looking for a low. Yeah, that's definitely low. Brock did not gain or lose any position, and I honestly probably lost time. So, yeah. Brock will look for a move in turns 1 and 2, hoping that someone can get shoved up so he can make a move. Because once that pack starts making those moves to the inside, whoever's stuck on that outside kind of screwed. So you want everyone else to get moved up, but you don't want to, go up with them, as you'll lose time due to it. As Josh's laps have suddenly decided to not work, as we will fix his laps. Not quite sure what that issue is. May have been lag. As the bug is back. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and get it again and not drop it this time. Although it's sitting right over my battery pack. So if my computer shuts off, you know what happened. I got it, guys. Yes. All right, I'll be right back. All right, as we are back, 3 to go in this stage. Howie is retaking the lead. Slinky sitting 2nd. Brock in 3rd, back up front where he was earlier. Maybe looking for his first stage win in his NARAS career. This is Brock's debut race. Been really impressive at points. Never been able to take it home, though. Brock maybe going to look for a move on his teammate of Slinky. Slinky will block. Brock will get stuck on the high side. Got too much of a run in a bad spot. Sorry, I'm taking a break for my voice. Whew. It's a lot harder than it looks, guys. Two to go. Howie still P1. Doing everything he can. As the 28 and the 67 are bumper to bumper. They will try to get around that 9. Obviously, the 28 and 67 teammates. But most of these drivers are within the same team umbrella of LM, Lee Motorsports, owned by General Lee 08, who's currently sitting 12th due to lag issues, and co-owned by me, who will have to run D2 this year for that team in the 25. As Brock will start to get turned by Patrick. Patrick will get moved up the track due to it. As they bumper lock, Patrick needs to let off to let Brock go. As Patrick is not doing that. I'm going to go ahead and 1 out of 3 Patrick. It looks like Howie is going. Not quite sure what happened there. If Slinky finishes this stage without letting off, he will have points voided. Josh will win stage 2, back-to-back stage wins. As Dusty will get a Points balance. Okay, so we are going to do another 5-minute break. Join and rejoin, or leave and rejoin as needed. Stream been a bit longer than I would have liked, but I mean, sometimes you have to sacrifice time to make a good product. And then there's people that just kind of like shove each other on the line and screw over their team owners. So, yeah. As everyone just trying to do what they can to line up, as we will interview first person to say me will receive it. It will be Dusty. Dusty, hello. Do you have a copy?
Yes.
So obviously you haven't been everywhere you'd like to be this race, but you have picked up stage points in stage 2, finishing P10. What are your thoughts on that?
Cool. Very nice, very nice. I don't know. It was good.
After the first caution-filled 5 laps, what do you think of the whole stage 2 being run under green?
Very nice. So, it felt nice to be green for a while. The only thing I didn't like is how much I was lagging.
Yeah, it seems a lot of these drivers have been dealing with lag. Maybe some of it's real, maybe some of it's an excuse. We know how common the excuse of lag is used in row racing, especially when it comes to wrecks. Obviously,
Yeah.
Slinky has said it was due to lag that he and Cole made contact. Not sure how much Cole thinks about that. So,
Yeah.
no, you can't have the inside.
Oh, wait. Oh,
It's just inside is in, odd numbers. You finished 10th, so you can't.
yeah. Well, he gave me it.
I'm just going to go ahead and make it funny. So, obviously, you've been in VC with loading during this race. Is there some sort of Toyota alliance going on within, those two teams?
Yes, we're trying to work together as much as we can. It's just I'll be running up front, and then I'll start getting bad V-lag, and it sends me to the back.
Yeah, speaking of, only kind of being you two as the only two Toyotas, what do you think of the fact that 10 of these 12 drivers are LM-associated drivers?
It's cool, I guess.
You're not upset that maybe your team is not getting the recognition you'd like to get, or?
I'm the only driver for my team.
Okay. Well, I guess you could say your whole team is here then. You might be the only one.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just hoping now that we join, my lag will be a bit better. Because I was running up front, and then me and Sneaky were making contact, and my lag started.
yeah, there seemed to be a lot of contact due to... I saw a lot of contact with Brock, a lot of contact with Slinky, just in general, not with you.
Yeah.
Loading got caught in a wreck. I believe he got spun around once. But that ended up not being caution because he was the only one that kind of slowed down. So, yeah, it sucks that happened, but it happens.
I mean, it's been a good race. It's just hopefully the infield cars can get deleted because I feel that's adding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm losing my voice, so because I'm over here like gasping for air. I had to kill a bug halfway through the stage because it's just on my wall. So
yeah.
Obviously, you're one of the developers for the season. What are you thinking the setups and cars are going to be like for the rest of the season?
I think they're going to be good. They're handling pretty good. The setup's pretty good that BMX made.
Yeah, it seems like these cars are pretty good. Obviously, you've been a bit prone to VLAG, but obviously that can be the track, that can be Roblox, that can be almost anything.
Yeah.
That could be some of the stuff on the track, especially that huge NARAS sign in the middle, as that has been, that's a bunch of different pieces together.
Yeah.
So that may be some of it.
So is the infield cars and stuff.
Yeah, not quite sure what's going on there. What do you think of Josh winning both stages 1 and 2?
I didn't even know he won them both. That's good.
Yeah, I believe he won it after Slinky and Howie had some controversial contact. Slinky getting a 1 out of 3 due to it.
Yeah.
So.
I've been having a good race. I'm just hoping that I can be up front now.
Yeah. All right, well, good luck. I'm going to go and move you back to Dep Bros with loading.
Okay.
So good luck. You might need it at this
Okay.
point with all these people. So,
Yeah. Alright, goodbye,
all
nerd.
right, good luck. As he left. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and signal for... Actually, we're actually going to have one more interview. We're going to go and bring the 9 of Cole Darcy in. Cole,
Hello.
do you have a copy?
Yes.
Good, because I wasn't taking no for an answer.
Okay.
So what have you thought about this race so far?
It's a good race so far, I guess. My number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro is fast. We all love a fast car.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened the last stage, but I was upside down from the lead. But all right.
Well, you like barrel rolled, landed on your wheels, and still finished like 8th.
I would have liked to be first, but
Oh, I thought you had it, and I'm not quite sure what happened in that end of the stage. I was kind of busy killing something, so yeah,
Killing what?
There was a bug in my room, and I had to kill it because it's just gonna end up in my bed at night if I don't.
You'll be sleeping with a creepy crawly critter.
No, I'm good. You can do that.
Okay.
Oh
But,
wait, I forgot. I can't piss you off. You gotta run D2. Dang it.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, you can't piss me off either. So
You know what? That's fair.
yeah. So obviously, Slinky is one of your drivers. What is your take on the contact with him?
I guess it's just a racing incident. I mean, he said that he had V-lag all down the front stretch, and I'm like, why do you have V-lag for an entire lap when you know you went below the double yellow? But I don't get it. I guess it's just lag at its finest, or at its worst point. But we got another 35 laps to try to get back to the front, so I'm sure it'd be fine. Language? What language?
What language?
I said no language.
He said no language.
No language yet. Anyway, yeah. So that's about that. Slinky went to the back as well because of that for some unknown reason. I guess he's starting to spot ahead of me. No, sorry, 2 spots ahead. No, wait,
3 spots.
3 spots, 3 spots ahead of me.
And he didn't flip upside down.
No, he did not flip upside down, but I was too busy typing. So, Logan, you said the P word. Ooh, you're in trouble. Not a curse word. Logan said a body word. OMG, ban it.
Ban him.
Ban him.
Man, I don't want to get in the van. All right, well, I'm
Get
going to
in
go
the
and
van.
move you back to your VC so people can stop yelling at me, start yelling at each other about racing incidents.
Okay.
Alrighty, I'm going to go and announce that everyone needs to go back to their team VCs. Please go back to team VC. And then I'm going to go ahead and announce R. As these drivers will line up again. WaterNet is deafened. Therefore, we'll merge lap down. Okay. As we go green again. WaterNet just kind of not there. Josh and Ginger gonna fight for it. The last 35 laps of this race. Even my English is failing me now. I'm just ready for Christmas break. Daiman gonna make a move. Gets to second under Ginger. Ginger got stuck on that outside. Is that... No, that's not. That's not Jen. And I thought Jen was in P4 for a second. That is 28 of Slinky. As Josh will continue to lead. Did not get a great run in that turn. Daiman absolutely just caught up to his bumper. Going to try and push him as far as he can. Doing everything he can to stay in front. As there's a lot of wrecking. Waternet, I don't believe, caught anybody. I'm going to go and move him off the track real quick. That way I can move his car into the infield as they have reached the backstretch. As water will now be placed on pit road. And now we will watch as Howie sits in fourth. Howie, you know, feels confident in his car. Got a little messed up at the end of that stage. Not quite sure what happened with Josh. He's moved back a ton. Seems like he got moved by maybe the 48, maybe the 28, maybe the 2. Brock sitting in 5th. A lot of contact with someone in the back. I'm not quite sure who that was. Oh, it seems it was Josh. Josh made contact with that outside wall and just wasn't able to get there, trying to stay in Jen's draft and catch up. This could be a huge upset if Josh ends up getting stuck. Josh may need a caution. Ginger seems to, you know, be kind of all over the place. Usually pretty consistent. You know, pretty chill usually. Makes some decent videos. Has a good iRacing league that I've run in. If you'd like, you can go watch the Rippin' and Racing highlights back on his channel. At The Grand Ginger. All one word. As the 19 and the 67 will make contact, Dusty slides up the track, gets caught with Brock. Brock just needs to let off. As that'll save Josh. Josh, who fell so far back after an issue, will get his spot back. I will fly back to my stand so I'm not in the way. Sorry, not 13th, 12th. As I will take my spot on this booth. Just like I took... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that punchline. Okay. Whew. Long race. Long cautions. A lot of controversial moments today. Could be a lot of fighting after just one race. A lot of infighting between teams. Really just depends on how these drivers look at what happens and what they think. You know, if they think it was intentional or just a bad move or, you know, whatever they believe. Racing is a lot about believing what another driver does to you. As Jen will line up 7th. Dusty is a few laps down. Dusty will be placed on the lead lap. I forgot to fix his laps after he reconnected. As it has reached nighttime in Daytona. As who is leading? It is Daiman, the winner of the pole. Kind of fell back early in this race. Is back to the front. As we are waiting, okay, it seems that Daiman is back. Now I'm going to ask if everybody is ready. Waternet sitting fourth. We are going to go ahead and tell them to Watch flags. As we're going to follow Daiman as they go. Change water. Laps 64. As Jen's PC seems to have died. I'm not seeing him on the track. As Jen's car is frozen. As we are going to call the caution due to this, and I guess wait till Jen gets back. That is the wrong spectate menu. Daiman continuing to lead will lead the race back. As we wait for Jen to rejoin the game. How fun! As someone just hit the wall and bounced the wrong way. I believe it was Dusty. Or Howie, I'm not quite sure. A lot of these drivers may be getting a bit tired. Getting a bit more desperate. I know I'm definitely getting tired. This talking is a lot. As I will now interview somebody. Who do we want? Stream, you got any people you want interviewed, or we just want to get racing? No, I guess we can't get racing. We're waiting for Jen. So I am going to host an interview. Who wants interview? People who've already received an interview will not get it. It'll be Patrick. As we will move him to commentators chat. Patrick.
Hi.
Hello. You're sitting fourth right now. What do you think about that?
It's getting crazy. I mean, sure, I'm up in the top 5, but I couldn't believe the race back.
Yeah, you seem to be in, you were sitting second, I believe, earlier. You've been kind of back and forth all day. What do you think about that?
I mean, I want to make my move at the last minute, but at the same time, I want to make sure I don't want to go too aggressive mode.
Yeah, timing is everything, especially at a place like Daytona. You've had that. It's just sometimes that timing is on your side, sometimes that timing isn't. How do you think your teammates have done in respect of this race?
Ginger, he's doing good, and Moa, he's doing okay, even though he's in the back. I'm sure BMX Motorsports will get a win here today. If not, then, well, we tried.
Ginger is currently sitting at a 2 out of 3, one more, and he will be placed on probation for next race at Phoenix. What do you think if someone like Ginger gets, a probation or a race ban?
I mean, BMX would be pissed off, but I would feel bad for Ginger for missing another race. I mean, this is his first race in a long time, so I don't want to blame him for being too aggressive.
Yeah, as a lot of these drivers maybe getting a bit more angry with each other, similar to a lot of drivers how they treated Geko last season. Kind of after a while it starts to get more and more annoying as people continue to make the same mistakes. Do you think you'll see tempers flare? Do you think people will try and stay relatively calm for the end of this race?
It's just super speedway racing. I mean, it's not like a short track where we get super tempers flaring.
Yeah. Last season, you were a round of 6 exit. That's really good for someone who, I believe, has not won a race in NARAS, but you're consistent enough to, you make it to the round of 6. You beat some other drivers to make it in. What do you think about your chances of making it in the playoffs this season as well?
I mean, well, first of all, it depends if we'll make it to the playoffs this season. And
Trust me, we will, because I'm not going to end it early.
Bet. Anyways, I mean, the playoffs might have a good chance for me because even if I get in close, I might make it by a slim margin. I mean, watch me being in the underdog again.
Yeah, you've always kind of been, I guess, the series underdog, and time after time you continue to, get consistent points. You may not always finish in, that top 3, top 5, but you finish the race. And I think that's a lot of the reason you're able to keep, your pace, your points, you're able to stay in the playoffs. It's not your speed, it's your consistency.
Yes, it is. Consistency is key.
Yeah, especially at a place, like Martinsville, as we saw last season, someplace you yourself didn't have a lot of consistency, but you had that short run speed, Do you think maybe having some short run speed at the end of this race could help you?
I mean, if I can have the help that's needed from behind me and potentially getting a push. I mean, this is Daytona.
Yeah, this is probably one of the bigger races of the season. I would say the biggest race of the season would be this race, the All-Star, and Homestead.
Oh, yeah.
So those 3, if you can win one of those big 3 or all 3, your name is, etched in history. You get put in that all-times wins list. If you win that Homestead race while you're in the championship, you get put on that all-time championship list, which is something I haven't done myself. You get put with some of those greater names like Sid Boy. I believe Rona's on that all-times list. A lot of these bigger names, older names, you can try and, make your way up.
I mean, even though I made the most starts without a win, it's crazy how I want to win so badly. I mean, think of it. I'm like Michael McDowell in real life. Even though he got a win in the Daytona 500 last year, I feel like I'm like him.
Yeah,
you underdog without.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like you are a lot similar to Michael McDowell. You haven't, always had the best pace, but you're always, you're always there. You're always talked about. You always are in the right place at the right time. Just never at the end. It's always, early in a run, or early in a stage. You just need to get, that one good run at the end of a stage, at the end of a race, just to get your name put in history.
Yeah.
And a great place to do that would be the Daytona 500.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and move you back. I think I might try and just start. We're going to have Jen merge. So I am going to go ahead and move you into your VC with Ginger and Water.
Bye.
All right, I'll see ya. I gotta find it. Hold on. There we go. As I think we're going to try and start without Jen. I believe we've kind of reached a point where we're not as worried about it. I'm not seeing Jen's car on track anywhere. Let me see if I can find it. It may have been pulled off. Or, no, it's sent up here. As I'm gonna move his car into pit lane just so that when he is here, he can easily get to it and rejoin this race. Obviously not the smoothest Daytona we'd like to have, but still smoother than the Clash. Clash was kind of all over the place because we had spin physics. And let's just say there were more cautions than this. Let me go ahead and unfly. As we are going to wait. As Brock says no in all caps. And now he's ready. So we are going to watch the flags as we get ready to go green. Ginger gets a great start on the outside of Daiman. Will he clear him? No, he won't. Daiman's still there. Just barely enough. His nose is in. Not anymore. Ginger will take P1 off the line into turn 1. As people are trying to get single file. You know, single file seems to be a really common in, you know, tracks like Daytona. Tracks such as Bristol or Martinsville, you know, or Charlotte may change that because people will run different lines. But tracks such as Daytona or Talladega will always have these very similar inside lines. You know, the outside isn't really useful at all. Whereas somewhere like Bristol or somewhere like Martinsville, you can kind of use that outside to your advantage, as seen in last season, as the 48 will get turned into the pit road. Obviously, we have no pit road or speed limits, so he won't get any speeding penalty or black flag. He'll just merge into the back, as I believe it's Josh, maybe sitting P1. Is it Josh or Slinky? Let me find it. It is Josh right in front of Slinky, the two teammates. Howie sitting right behind. Howie has some previous experience racing at Slinky. I believe Slinky was P2 in last season's Watkins Glen playoff race. As Slinky will get under the 18, will hit the 9 up the track. The 44 going to try and dive low. The 44 of loading will take third. Maybe try and make a move on this 28 of Slinky for P2. Whew. As as Howie will get stuck on that outside line. Brock a bit low. Obviously, Jen still having those engine issues put in pit road. As loading looks for the outside, brakes a little bit, maybe getting, you know, a little bit of lag. Brock's going to move into third, or at least try to. Brock's going to move loading up the track a little bit with his right rear quarter panel. If you did that in real life, you wouldn't be around to finish that move off. As Brock continues to try and make a move, go for second on his teammate. LCM currently setting 1, 2, 3. The best average position for these drivers currently. As they continue to race, I will be right back. Sorry, I had someone calling me, but not a lot has changed in this top 3 still. Josh P1, Slinky P2, Brock P3. Brock may be looking for a move on Slinky. Instead of loading, going to look for a move on Brock. As Josh is going to move up, Slinky is going to go under, try and take P1. Brock may be letting his teammate in. No, he will not. Oh, maybe trying to let... No. Not a lot of teamwork between these LCM cars. A lot of them seem to be going into business for themselves. Something you need to do definitely here at Daytona compared to other tracks. As Daytona is a lot more equal. You know, you don't always need as much teamwork as you do, you know, just moving where you need to. Is there 3 wide for P1? 4 wide for a moment. As loading continues to shove Brock up the track. Maybe a little bit of payback for that earlier wreck. As they continue to make contact, loading around, only one car is in that. As I'm going to scan the field to make sure not another car is stopped. No, it seems that only loading was involved in that. So that is going to pretty much ruin loading's race unless there's another caution. Just couldn't get off of Brock. As Josh is going to shove his own teammate up the track. Josh going to now get in front of Slinky. Slinky under the line. A lot of these Chevy drivers not doing a great job. And Brock, I think, got turned down by water. I'm not quite sure. Very questionable move from these drivers. As Howie's going to try and take P1 from his teammate of Daiman. He'll get the move done. Josh in second. These two on different teams under the same umbrella seem to be working together. Dusty sitting P4 right now, looking for P3, is going to slide up the track. Maybe some contact with Brock. Brock's going to get under him. Brock is going to try and make that move for third. Dusty's shoving Brock down a little. Not giving him any room. Brock going to shove Dusty all the way up the track. Give him a taste of how he feels. Brock is now going to chase Josh down, maybe block, so one of them can win. Any win for these drivers is pretty much a win, except for Loading and Dusty, who are not within that LM umbrella. A lot of these drivers kind of have these similarities with being under LM, being a Chevy driver. So what's good for one of them is usually good for most of them. Whether it be manufacturer's points, team points, or, any of that. As Dusty and Slinky continue to make contact. Dusty was sitting P3, or was trying to go for P3 at a point. Now has fallen back to P5. Maybe a possible P6 now, as he's going to make contact with Ginger. Just came down, going to hit Slinky. As looks like Dusty went to come down and Ginger was there. As I am struggling to use my hands to type. That's how he's going to, I guess, keep Josh from getting behind him. Josh going to get a massive run from his teammate. All the LCM drivers on that outside line maybe trying to work together. No. All the LCM drivers going behind their team, or one of their team owners. As Josh may be looking for a move on that outside. Hasn't worked for anyone today. Maybe he'd try and make it work for himself. Not able to. Will he be able to slot back in line? He will. Behind Slinky. Now Brock will try and make that same move. You would think he would have learned after the first time. They're 3 wide for P1. As this not going to work. As Slinky gets his bumper in. Brock tries to go low. Josh may be going for a move now. Josh is going to slide into second. Brock staying where he can. They're 3 wide for third right now as Josh and I believe that's Dusty make contact. No, Josh is going off track. Massive lag spike as Howie continues to dominate this race. As Josh has reached his time limit, not able to finish this race unless he can get another hour. If he can get that other hour, he will merge to the lead lap with that pack. As a lot of these drivers, for some reason, are not on the lead lap. So I will fix that. I don't know what the issue is. Oh, big contact. As they keep moving. So we're taking a little trip through pit road. Would have been pretty bad if he had one of those cars.
Hey, so I know I'm not exactly supposed to be in here, but I just want to say I've been watching the stream and I am noticing a lot of illegal stuff out of Geko.
Gekko's not here. You mean Slinky or Brock?
Slinky.
Yeah, he's kind of like going into the line a lot. I think.
Well, he was forcing a lot of drivers down.
Yeah.
He made a legal double yellow pass on Josh.
He did that
just
whole
forced
like stage 2 thing at the end of the stage where he just kind of like dove under the entire tri-oval almost.
Yes.
So I think
I'm just wondering if there's going to be any kind of penalty towards him.
there is. I'm definitely kind of leaning towards a penalty soon. As what I've seen, I haven't seen a ton of it because usually when I'm tracking him, he's only done one or two things. But
The stream is catching everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm just not focused on that part of the track when it's hitting. So.
Yeah, the stream is focusing on everything. Right, as I'm watching the stream now, and Dusty almost tried to make a below the yellow move, and Slinky went down there to block that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to like my job. So.
Okay, I just wanted to come in here and make sure that you were gonna do something.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of doing something. I think he's already at a 1 of 3.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my chat.
I'm gonna penalize him. Or sorry, that's a 2 out of 3. As Slinky's gonna make the move for P1 after getting a another penalty, or not a penalty, but another warning. I think if he continues to go under that line, as he's underline again in the trioval, same with Patrick. Patrick is going to be told to let off. This Ginger's just going to get forced up. Patrick came in a bit late. As who is currently leading this race? It seems to be Slinky Chain. As Daiman's going for a move. Slinky shoving him under the line again. We're going to change everyone's laps to 79. Oops. Oh. Josh is merging, so that lead is not actually happening. As Ginger and Water trying to work together to get around, Slinky. As Daiman continues to try and make a move on Ginger. I believe he's under him now. No, he's not. As Howie and Josh trying to do everything they can. Howie, involved in a later incident, has caught up to the pack. Slinky continuing to shove Waternet down. Well, get pushed to the outside for it. As he's going to hook Dusty a little bit and follow Dusty down. Okay. As Jen's laps will now be fixed. And Slinky will have his final warning. So, one more and Slinky will be placed on probation for Phoenix. This will not ban him from racing, but this means if he does receive another 3 out of 3 at Phoenix, he will be banned from the rest of Phoenix and the race after that, which I believe will take place at... Where's the schedule? Vegas. As Slinky is going to hit Ginger. These are some awful moves. As Brock is going to come back up the track, I believe after getting hit down by Howie. Howie apologizing. This race has been very physical, especially with people such as Ginger and Slinky, and both of them together. As Daiman, will try and make a move on Waternet, try and get a win in his first race back for NARAS. As he's going to be under the 12 into turns 1 and 2. Will he get the move done? He will. He's in front of the 12. The 12 on that outside will have no draft and no one to go with him. The 12 will come down back in front of Brock. Brock doing everything he can to keep him. And he can. And actually Loading may make a move on Brock. As these guys are pretty single file again, except for Brock and the 12 of Waternet racing against one another. As we have, that's not Howie, or that is Howie. That's not Daiman. Sorry. Daiman leads lap 84. There are 11 laps to go in this race. Very action-packed race. A lot of tempers may be flaring. Josh and Howie, who were dominant early in this race, kind of stuck in the back. Can't really get around anyone. People aren't really getting shoved up as much as they were previously. Obviously, Josh got thrown back due to screen time. He had to log out and come back in. And Howie got involved in that wreck with Brock earlier in the race. Originally, we weren't sure if Howie would make it back in time due to that wreck. We didn't know if we still had the draft. But it turns out he did, and he's now sitting in P4 on the ticker. I believe that is incorrect, though. He's really sitting in... Yeah, that really isn't... Okay, I don't know why it's reading him as P4. He's P6, I believe. Fighting for P5. Behind Loading is going to push Loading through. He's sitting P5 right now in P4. So now it's right. Not quite sure what the issue is with that. That's Howie doing everything he can to get back up into the race. Howie won the championship last season, would like to already lock himself into the playoffs for this season. Obviously, Howie kind of woke up once playoffs started. One Watkins Glen, I believe, to lock in, and then obviously one North Wilkesboro to win the entire championship. Also won the Clash last Sunday. Obviously locked himself into that playoffs with a win at Rockingham. As Howie is going to try and make a move for third, is going to end up being a move for second. As Dusty is requesting laps be fixed, as he will be placed on the lead lap. Now, Dusty, another one of those Michael McDowell, or I guess more recently Cody Ware, kind of similar people, where he doesn't exactly have that pace as Brock. Some kind of caution with him, not quite sure. As he's stuck, that might be his day done. As that's the only caution on track. That will not result in a caution. As Brock will merge to last. As there's a crash. Do they keep it going? As it seems like everyone is still going. Not seeing anyone stopped. As a huge crash resulted after Josh got a bit loose off of someone's front bumper. 7 laps to go. Howie leading again. Howie v. Slinky. Same battle we saw at the end. Slinky's going to hit Howie. And that's going to be really weird in this. Slinky's really getting on people's nerves now. Slinky may be the Chevy version of Geko. As we are now going to watch this battle very closely. Slinky's already near his last straw. It's definitely something we may see in the steward's room very soon. That might be one of the first things we look at as we reach 6 laps to go. Howie still commanding a lead. Dusty screwing Josh just kept coming down. Not quite sure what happened there. It's going to be penalized. As Dusty is stopped after the caution, after the wreck, will not become a caution due to the fact that there's only one car. As loading will hook Daiman. As I'm not quite sure what the issue is with Josh. Maybe the lap did not count last time by. We may have to do a fix lap. As Damon's did not count either. Change day. Lap 91. As Josh really had a good run at the start. Not what he wanted near the end of this run. Slinky and Howie still fighting for P1 and 2. Loading in P4. Daiman P3. Waternet P5. So 4 different teams. It would be LM, LCM, LM, Debt Brothers Racing, and then Waternet, which races for BMX Racing. Or BMX Motorsports, sorry. So these drivers will near 3 to go. Slinky still on Howie's bumper. Doing everything he can to keep him behind. Maybe getting a bit loose. Daiman gets stuck up high. Loading will move on. Will try and make the move into 3rd. Loading can be in contention for his first win. As Howie starts to run away. Huge lag spike. Howie trying to run away from Slinky. Not sure if that's going to work. Slinky maybe given too much space by Howie. Howie kind of went to the middle maybe to try and arc that turn a bit more. You know, if Slinky was a bit closer, that would have never worked just due to the nature of these cars. Slinky could have gotten that run and dove under him in a heartbeat. As we reach 2 to go in this race. Howie still leading. Been dominant all day. Been in a few wrecks. Is going to go high. Slinky's going to move low. Howie's going to fight Slinky for it. Daiman going to push Howie as his teammate. No, maybe not. Daiman going with Slinky. The better inside line. As Howie's going to push Slinky down. Maybe giving a taste of his own medicine. As Waternet makes contact. And that may be a caution. No, everyone's still moving. Daiman may be looking for a move on the last lap. This will be no C. Howie and Daiman have to work together in this last lap if they want to get around Slinky. Slinky under the line. If Slinky does end up getting, a penalty for this race, if he reaches that 3 out of 3, his car will be, or his points will be voided. His win would be voided. You know, he'd lose everything. So really wanting to kind of play it safe. Don't wreck Daiman. Don't wreck Howie. Don't shove them under the line. And this race is yours. Daiman doing everything he can to shove Slinky up the track. It's not enough. Slinky's going to come onto the front stretch. As Damon's going to get hooked by Howie. As Daiman will come home second. Slinky will win his first race. As Slinky is the first man to lock himself into the Season 33 playoffs. And that 28 machine for LCM. Cole maybe not happy about his finish, but happy for the team. As the ticker seems to be off. Slinky should be in P1, but it lists Daiman as P1. Obviously, we'll have to go back and stream and get points done. So, Josh, able to finish P4. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that everything is still working. As we are going to do some post-race interviews and get this stream over so I can eat dinner because I like food. So we are going to go ahead and pull in our third place finish of Cole Darcy. Cole, you got a copy?
Well, yeah.
Obviously not happy about losing that race near the end.
No, not at all.
Although you may not have won, your team won in the form of LCM. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's always nice to have at least our team winning. I mean, that's great, but it just sucks that I gave it to him like that.
Yeah, it seems like 2 to go. You kind of just got forced out of line. Was that you maybe making a mistake, or was that bumper lock coming into play?
That was just me missing turn 1. That was all my fault. Just stinks, man.
Would you say you cracked due to the pressure that Slinky was putting on you?
I'd say that it was just a general mistake on my behalf. I don't think it was anything pressure-wise. I was trying to keep my cool throughout the entire final run, but no, it was just a mistake on my behalf that cost me a Daytona 500.
Yeah, obviously Dusty was not able to merge after contact with Josh. What is your thought on that?
I don't know why that he's being so aggressive about that. I mean, he just had to go and he got wrecked. I mean, can't really say anything about that. I mean, Josh, top 5 finish, that's always great. But Dusty shouldn't be complaining like that. It's pretty dumb, to be honest with you. But I mean, it happens.
Yeah, obviously tempers started flaring near the end of that race as, people get more tired of, the same lap every time. It gets more and more, wear and tear on your brain. And at some point, people snap. What is your thought on that?
Sounds about right, especially with this restricted play track and people locking bumpers and, the whole big deal. People are going to get upset at some other people. I was upset at Slinky. I think he was forcing me below the double yellow.
Yeah, I think his win, it may be voided due to 3-3. I need to review the footage.
Hey, I'd be okay with that. That means I'd win the race. So, I did beat Daiman to the line.
Not on my screen.
On my screen, I think I beat him.
On my screen, he beat you by like an inch. If you want to go ahead and check the replay, feel free.
Yeah, let me check. Get a little.
Yeah. From what I saw, some of that may have also been VLAG. I think that is also an issue with these new chassis.
Yeah. On my screen, I was just a little bit ahead of him.
My angle may not have been the best as well. Because these are these are hard cameras that just like turn, so.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm gonna go ahead and let you
oh no,
that.
he did beat me. He did beat me.
Okay. I'm going to go
Yeah, he
and
beat
push
me.
you out and bring in Daiman for his thing. So congrats on P3. Obviously not what you wanted, but a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, goodbye. Get out.
Goodbye.
I almost dragged Cole back in. Daiman,
Oh,
you have a
hi.
copy. So
Hold on.
you finished P2. Obviously started on pole. It was pretty unlucky when it came to cautions. What was your thought of the race?
To be honest, it was okay. I wasn't expecting to win, so yeah. But hey, good job on Slinky's part, I guess. Ah, it's a
Now-
little disappointing.
Yeah, Slinky does drive for one of the LM Junior teams. Are you worried that maybe someone like Slinky or someone like Josh could take your spot in the future?
Hold on, repeat that again. I wasn't paying attention too much. I blanked
So
out.
Slinky is on LCM, which is an LM Junior team. Are you worried that someone maybe like Slinky or someone like Josh could maybe take your spot, in the next season or two?
Oh, I hope not. I
Well, I mean, they took away
hope
my
I
whole
can keep this
division.
for a
So.
while. Hot loser. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I get to race D2 though. It's fine.
It's good.
Yeah. But obviously, P2 finish, really good for LM, really good for you. Obviously, it's your first race back in a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congrats on that.
Thanks.
So, I'm going to go ahead and let you out of the booth. I have a winner to interview. Maybe if you can win next week, we'll have a good conversation about that, yeah?
Yeah, I hope.
Alrighty. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
As we will now drag our winner into here. Slinky! Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
So I believe that's your first win, right?
Yeah, that is.
And one way to finish the Daytona 500. As an LM junior driver, do you think maybe that gives you a huge chance to be on that top team next season?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Last year I didn't really have the season I wanted. Wasn't able to do a lot of races as well as I would have hoped, of course. I'm hoping I can keep this momentum up for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, now with this momentum you have from Daytona, do you think maybe you have a higher chance of winning? Maybe it's somewhere like Phoenix.
Maybe, yeah. It just depends on how I feel about the track, with how the car handles, but as long as it's good enough, I feel like I have a good chance.
Now, obviously, you were on the verge of a 3 out of 3, and, obviously, me and Cole are going to have to go back through the footage to make sure that any other penalties were not missed. So you could be on the verge of maybe losing the win. What is your thought on that?
I mean, a lot of that, I really didn't mean to do a lot of that. I'm sorry to the drivers that I did that to. I was just, at some points I was racing more aggressive than I wanted to, and some points the cars just got messed up and I couldn't really see well. There were problems seeing sometimes.
Yeah, obviously,
So.
obviously Cole wasn't happy with you after stage 2. Do you think maybe there'll be a
Yeah.
talk in, the team about that?
I didn't mean to do that. I did not want that to happen. Yeah.
Well, I think he's
Really
happy about it,
unfortunate.
considering that he was spamming in the Discord W-mans, so
Yeah,
I think that's a bit
he's
past you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, congrats this week. Good luck on next week. I'm going to go eat dinner now, because it's like 8:19 here, and I still haven't eaten, so
Okay then.
good luck next week. And try and bring me and Cole another win, huh?
I got you.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah.
So that is going to end the NARAS Season 33 Daytona 500. So, yeah. Be ready for not next week. We will not be driving next week because we kind of have a little bit of a holiday the next 2 weeks. The plan is currently to come back on January 8th, that Sunday. So, look forward to that. that is the plan. So enjoy your winter break if you have it. If you don't, sorry. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.